Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Veach Season. We are your guest hosts, Rocky Magaña and Kramer Sansone as Ariel. Welcome back to episode 3694.
Nailed
Brett
it.
Veach would be here tonight, except for he is hot on the phones looking for a wide receiver, trying to, this is just what my little birdies are telling me, that he has the phones working. He's sitting there he has one of those like 1980s roto dialer phones in his office where he does like the like if you're not watching me on YouTube right now, you're missing out on this great finger example I'm using of like one of those phones that has a circular dialer. You put your finger in it and you wrap it around, so you're
right.
like 7, 6, and you go back and forth like that. He's just doing that over and over again, calling every GM in the league right now, offering that 71st overall pick that we get for L'Jarius Sneed for any high-end wide receiver that's available, because it seems like, we'll get into a little bit later, there was some very high-profile trades today of wide receivers, and it seems like third-round draft picks are kind of the sweet spot that's the asking price right now for these veterans. But I am just blessed to be here. We had effing Hurricane Milton. Like, you knew that this hurricane was going to be a bad and annoying hurricane when they named it something like Milton. like it felt like a real Milton when it came through.
Glad you survived that, Rocky.
By the skin of my teeth. No, luckily me and my family were safe in our house. As you can see, my Chiefs banner still remains. It's like in the movie Glory we've talked about before, right? Like, this flag will not fall no matter what. It stands strong. But yeah, no, my house got through okay. I had a couple of trees that got uprooted, but that was about it. There's still a lot of people without power in the community, though. A lot of houses that took on significant damage. Some houses destroyed. A couple of people lost their lives, unfortunately. It was this really, really scary and serious storm, to be honest. We came through okay. We're still coming through. We got gasoline back in the city finally, so that's cool.
But they jacked the price up on that.
Luckily they didn't. They passed a no price gouging law a while back because that was happening. But the issue is, all right, so here we go. Here comes my soapbox of the day. I'm just going to get it out of the way right out the back.
Get it off your chest.
We get anything else today, I'm going to tell you what's really grinding my gears and pissing me off about this. We try not to get too overly political on this show, and we don't. This is a political season too, and listen, one way or the other, however you vote your conscience. I really don't care. But I will say this. In the state of Florida, we have zero leadership in any elected official whatsoever and any foresight. Doesn't matter what party they are. They're all just a bunch of dumbasses. Every single one of them. We knew that Hurricane Milton was coming a week ahead of time. We knew it was coming, right? I took 3 days off of work. I even told Serta, I was like, I might not be able to do the post-game show because I got to get my house prepared for this hurricane, right? And I was able to get it to all work out and still do the post-game show and everything. But we knew a week ahead of time. We live on a peninsula that is coast to coast from one side to the other, 3 hours, right? The most you're ever going to be coast to coast is like 3 hours. Okay. We knew that the hurricane was coming a week ahead of time, and all of the gasoline for Tampa is brought in via tankers into the port. So instead of rerouting the tankers around to the other side of the state, like to the Orlando port, which is an hour and a half away, and then unloading the gasoline there and bringing it down via the National Guard, which was called in, which was just sitting around doing nothing for 90% of the time after the storm. They brought all the tankers into the Tampa port, which got decimated, lost power, flooded, and then the storm hit on Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. There was no power, and the floodwaters didn't subside at the port until Friday. So there was no gasoline in the city from Wednesday morning until Friday, late Friday night. So so people woke up on Saturday morning, and some gas stations had gas, and they immediately ran out because lines were around the block, right?
Yeah.
So what happened because of this is fights broke out at the gas pumps. People were pulling guns. People were getting violent. There was people getting stabbed with knives at the pump, fighting over the gasoline
because I can hear about this.
It was such a shortage, right? So then they had to reroute all the police officers to the gas pumps to make sure people weren't killing each other over gasoline. Well, then because of that, there was still no power for huge areas of the city. Parts of the city still don't have power to this day. Like there's still huge areas without power. But because of that, there was no police officers to direct traffic. Oh. So we have these like literally going like 6 lanes either direction, like massive intersections with no stoplights, no stop signs, just complete free-for-alls. People driving and no police officers to direct traffic because they're all at the pumps trying to keep people from killing each other because there was no gasoline because they just let the tankers sit at the port for 3 days. So then on top of that, what did they do to fix some of these intersections? Not all of them. Some of the intersections, they rerouted power from people's houses who survived the storm with power. They took down their power and rerouted it to a different grid so that those stoplights could have power. So then people who made it through the storm with power lost power like 2 days after the storm.
Oh, I'd be so pissed.
And then they have these huge areas in downtown in the south of the city with all these floodwaters. And as these floodwaters start to naturally run off, you would think you have the Army Corps of Engineers here in Tampa. Like you would just first of all, they build floating bridges for a living. So why didn't they build a floating bridge at the port to like get the tankers in there, get the gas off the boats, right? But that's besides the point, right? Like we have like have you ever seen the movie? Like we're the United States of America, damn it. And like there's like Apollo 13, right? You've seen Apollo 13?
Yes.
So at that one point, they're like, hey, we need you to make this fit this because it's a crucial situation. Like, where is that ingenuity and that like resourcefulness and that engineering mindset today? Instead, we're just going to sit here, just let people just like let a city tear itself to pieces. And so then there's all these floodwaters, right? And they let the floodwaters naturally run off. And this is 3 days after the storm. All these floodwaters start to subside, but the floodwaters have to go somewhere, Kramer. So they go into like these ponds and reservoirs. And so then in my county, which is the county north of where the worst of the flooding was, the floodwaters ran off into that county and then into the lakes. And then people's houses started flooding in the lakes who live next to the lakes because of the floodwater runoff. And it's like,
so that trickle-down effect.
It's a huge trickle-down effect. You're like, you don't have pumps. Like you can't just like find a way to like start pumping water back into the ocean or rerouting it or dig a hole for it to go into. We built the Panama Canal, God damn it. And we can't build a trench to run for floodwater runoff.
Fair enough. Yeah.
They literally just let the storm hit and then just said, let's just see what's going to happen. And like, literally the National Guard has been here the whole time. I drove past a high school and the whole parking lot is packed with National Guard people literally doing nothing. Meanwhile, there's no lights at the intersections. There's no people directing traffic. I know they're not police officers. Put a National Guard guy in the intersection and have him direct traffic for God's sakes. Like do something. Like you're just sitting there in the parking lot doing absolutely nothing all day long. And there's like, put the National Guard at the gas pump so the police can direct traffic. Like,
yeah,
just somebody make a damn decision and do
you
something.
need to get your microphone out there and to start preaching. Someone will pay attention to that.
It's completely mind numbing, and there's no like every elected literally the election is coming up, and my only stance in the election is that every single person who's currently in office needs to be voted out of office. Like I don't care who they are, what their party is, none of them deserve to keep their jobs after the way this has happened. So
true.
But yeah, so anyway, that's me sitting there pissing into the wind a little bit and my old man anger of the day, Krame.
Well, heck, half the stuff you said, I didn't realize was going on down there. The people killing each other at the pumps. Come on, people.
Yeah, like it's like insane. Like it's insane. And in Georgia, my buddy who's the insurance adjuster from Kansas City, who I grew up with, he's staying with us right now because he's down here. working, he had to go through Georgia and do some claims. And like, there was like people just like straight up just like taking advantage of the situation where they took the people, they went into a gas station where people were waiting in line, and they went car by car and pulled everybody out and laid them on the pavement and robbed them all. Like,
whoa, man, that's Atlanta for you.
Like, stuff gets dire, dude, when this stuff happens. And like that, it's like the after effect and residual impact that people don't think about. And it's completely ridiculous because so much of it could have been prevented and it just wasn't. And so anyway, that's not what this podcast is about, Kramer. I mean, this podcast that we do every single week, which I missed not doing it with you last week. I missed your face.
It was a bye week. It's okay. There's a Monday night game. We record on Monday nights. It's okay.
We don't. I know, but listen. There was a bye week on the schedule, but not a bye week in my heart.
That's true. Fair week. Fair.
I wish I knew how to quit you. I don't like it's a Jake Gyllenhaal in me. I just don't.
I appreciate that, dude.
I have no quit in me when it comes to you, Kramer. But all that being said, enough of that. Enough of the negativity. This is going to be the most positive episode we've ever had. And with that, I have to know because this is over a week in the making. What's hot with Krame Dog?
Well, it's not as it's anticlimactic as you think. I got to go to a playoff game this past week for the Royals. It was awesome, but that was it sucked that they lost. But the thing that honestly, I took last week as a bye week for myself. I just sat back, relaxed. I didn't watch any football this past weekend, so I thought, you know what? Let me detox for a minute. If I know that if the Chiefs can have a bye week, if Travis Kelce can be at the Yankees game, last night on his bye week, I could do that too. So I went to the Renaissance Festival on Sunday here in Kansas City, and huzzah! Yeah, no, it was fun. I enjoyed it. It's got me a turkey leg. Yeah, so that's really what's hot with Krame Dog. Not much this week.
Were you full on LARPing when you were there?
No, we all had, like, the group of the people I went with. We had pirate hats that we were all wearing. Granted, I have a big ass head, so it lasted for about an hour. Then it broke off. But yeah, at some point, I'm gonna go the full outfit, get on there, and hopefully ride a horse.
You were wearing like a tri-corner hat, you're saying?
No, it was like the plastic things you get at the Party City.
Okay. I thought it was like a tri-corner.
I wish.
Like Civil War, like Confederate Civil War.
No, if I had that, I'd be wearing that right now, Rocky. You know me.
Yeah, I know you. Well, I mean, yeah, I know you exactly. That's what I'm saying. I know the organizations you hang out with. The reason why I asked if you were LARPing, because I know the other kind of LARPing that you do, the other live action role play.
Oh yeah, wrestling
that you do. Well, I was talking about the Confederate War.
Oh, that reenactment thing. Yeah, no, I'm not here to talk about my past.
No, I'm joking. Kramer is the furthest thing from a Confederate soldier that I've ever met in my entire life. As a matter of fact, he just showed me his high school yearbook before we started recording.
Oh, boy.
Kramer, you want to tell everybody what your high school yearbook quote was?
No. Rosa Parks.
That's exactly what his quote was. It was no. And it was a quote by Rosa Parks.
Yep. And, it's out there now. Yeah.
That is a brilliant quote to have. And so
it's strong. You can always say no.
That tells you everything that you need to know and why you are not a Confederate soldier reenactor. Just right off the bat. Like if you ever wanted to know, is Kramer's head sewed secretly, hoping the South will rise again? His high school yearbook quote says it all. No, he's not. He's not. He doesn't think it should. He's against this. He's against the Confederate South,
the Union, baby.
So, that's actually a stance of this podcast in general. We're against the Confederate South on Veach season. If you can't get behind that, then
bye.
I'm sorry. Like, we're probably not the Chiefs / Halle Berry / Taylor Swift / koala meat /
I feel like they would have dropped off once the Halle Berry thing was shown out there.
Once the Halle Berry love started, and they probably would have dropped off at that point. But dude, you went to the playoff game. That's so
that was
dope.
So I had Diamond Club seats too, which don't ask me how I got those.
How did you get those? I'm about to say, how did you get those?
Just got lucky.
what did you have to do to get those? Or
I was
who,
right,
Kramer? Who
right
did you have to
place,
do to
right
get
time.
those?
Right place, right time, man. I got lucky.
They put it in the right place at the right time, and they got lucky, and then you got the tickets. Okay, I get it. I see how it's working. Kramer Sansone's out there whoring himself out for Diamond Club seats in the playoff game, and I don't blame him. I would do the same thing. There's not much I wouldn't have done if I was in Kansas City to get
God,
tickets
that
to that
atmosphere
game.
was so great, man. Like I mean, you could tell up here who I like the most, but man, I teared up of emotion of just the atmosphere, the electricity. It's like goosebumps. And I always like, for some reason, when it comes to sporting events or going out to watch wrestling or something happening on the movies, that's like very what's the word? Like gets me going. Like I'll just start bawling for excitement because it's just, I love what I'm seeing.
It's amazing. And there's something about baseball games and football games as well, but like the first moment that you walk through, like you walk through the turnstiles and then you go down the concourse and then you find like whatever, like, aisle that your seats are in.
Yeah, your
And
section.
when your section, when you find your section and when you start to descend the stairs in your section and that green grass, that bright, vibrant, beautiful emerald effing green grass just comes into view and just invades your visual senses, and just like you're automatically a kid again, and the
Mm-hmm.
air is just full of electricity, and there's no place in the world you'd rather be than out there watching the boys play ball.
That
And
every single game I go to, I feel that exact same thing you described, dude. That's
since
why I
the
keep going.
day I was born, and as old as I get, that feeling never goes away. And it's so awesome. It's so awesome. And so, yeah, dude, I am so jealous of you. I think other than that, the best Royals game I ever went to was the opening day game the year after they almost made the playoffs, back when Allard Bear was still GM, and they narrowly missed the playoffs down the stretch. And then I went to the opening season game the following year, and David DeJesus hit a walk-off game-winning home run on opening day, and that was pretty
That's
electric.
sick, dude.
Yeah, Kaufman was buzzing and just shaking that game. It was awesome. But dude, yeah,
We
I'm
need
jealous.
more playoff atmosphere. Baseball is unmatched. Need more playoffs, no matter what sport it is here in Kansas City. Just being
100%. Anytime you go to any kind of playoff game, like honestly, like Chiefs playoffs, like I was at the no punt game between the Chiefs and the Colts, right?
Mhm.
Where Priest Holmes fumbled the ball, and that's the only reason why we lost the game against Peyton Manning. Um, I was at multiple Sporting Kansas City playoff games. But anytime, literally, it doesn't matter. Like anytime that there is a playoff sports going on, the crowd is just so electric. It's just such another level. And yeah, we need as much playoff sports in Kansas City as possible. That being said, you know what? I saw on social media, like a lot of people kind of trashing the Royals' performance against the Yankees in the series. And yeah, the bats didn't come alive, and they could have played better baseball. And Salvi's plate discipline was non-existent. And Bobby Witt Jr. didn't have his best series. But all that aside, what a hell of a season by the Kansas City Royals. Like, we're spoiled
Rob
as
Royals.
Chiefs fans, I think, with having Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid as our quarterback, and we just expect that like it's like this sense of entitlement that we have now that, oh, if we make the playoffs, then we're gonna make a deep run and probably win the championship. And like, no, like winning a World Series is incredibly hard, and making the playoffs in baseball is more difficult. Making the playoffs in baseball is more difficult than making the playoffs in any other sport. Making the
Yes.
playoffs in baseball is an achievement in itself. And the fact that the Royals went from a 100-loss season to making the playoffs and then winning their first series, there's no shame in going down against the Yankees like they did. Did we want it to end differently? 100%, but hell of a season by the boys in blue. And so proud to be a Royals fan.
Still a winning season in my book. I don't care how people sugarcoat it. I don't care if people are pissed off that, oh no, they should have won the World Series. They got screwed. No, like who the hell expected them to be in the playoffs this year? I mean, I always think they do, but it's just me.
I mean, yeah, I'm an eternal optimist, and I always
like the last 2 years. I thought last year they're going to make it. Like I was full blown dead set. Yep, last year was it, but now no. So what's the night and day difference between the 100-loss team and this team that just played?
Every single time I fill out an all-star ballot, it's only Royals players in the American League.
So you stuffed that ballot back when it was the Cincinnati Reds one, when it was just literally everybody was a Royal. Omar Infante got first place votes at second. What's going on?
What I used to do when I was a kid, we used to do is we'd choose all Kansas City Royals and all Pittsburgh Pirates. But this is back. This isn't like Barry Bonds and Bobby Bonilla Pittsburgh Pirates. This is like when the Pirates were like really bad.
So like Ramos Ramirez at third.
Yeah, like we just basically choose whatever team is terrible. Like in the really bad years, so like the Florida Marlins, like whoever you had in the National League that was terrible that year, you would choose all Royals, and then the worst possible National League team, all of them, and then just hope that we had like the lamest and most boring All-Star game of all time. That was just two teams playing each other. It's just like a normal game.
Thank God that didn't happen, Rocky. I'm glad you stuffed the ballots too much.
Yeah, I wasn't able to actually ever tip the scales in my favor. But yeah, so that being said, there is a little bit of a conspiracy theory out there right now regarding Taylor Swift and Kansas City Royals baseball, and and her beef with Brittany Mahomes. And I mean, you saw this week when you were watching the playoffs, Taylor Swift was at the Yankees game.
I saw it last night. Yeah.
Taylor Swift was at the Yankees game last night, and she was wearing a New York Yankees baseball cap.
Yeah, not cool. Not cool.
Taylor Swift.
Killer Trav was there next to him.
Yeah, Taylor Swift decked out in Yankees gear with Killer Trav next to her. A shot across the bow at the owner of the Kansas City Royals' wife, where they're presumably beefing. Kramer.
They've been beefing this long. They did. Well, hold up. Didn't I just see a video like maybe a week ago? She's running and jumping into the arms of Taylor. Did I see that or not? Or this is just me trying to like think something happened when it didn't. I don't know. But if this is
you're trying to understand the fickle ways of friendship, Kramer. It's like me and you. Like sometimes passions run hot, and one moment we're best friends, the next moment we're at each other's throats. And it's just like
it would be different. I feel like if she owned a part of the Yankees, but there's no way in hell Taylor Swift's ever going to probably own that. She could probably literally own the entire state of New York. Yeah, she probably could at some point.
She wouldn't have to own a part of the Yankees. She could probably just buy it outright.
Do you really want to buy the Yankees? Is it that valuable? It's the most valuable, probably sports franchise in history. But man, I thought it was funny to see some people be like, "Oh, why is Travis Kelce there?" Like, dude, he's literally thrown out the first pitch so many times at Cleveland Guardians games. Like, just pay attention, people. But there's nothing going on here between Taylor or Brittany, or is there? Do you think?
No, I don't think there is at all. I'm just
no, there's a little
just stirring the pot.
There's a little glint in your eye when you're about to answer that, though.
Well, that's because I have a Twitch, and
no, that's not it. No, there's not. No, that I saw your Twitch. No, you have a little glint.
I have my little. That's my facial twitch. That's involuntary. That makes it look like I'm having a facial seizure 90% of the time on our podcast, which is probably why we don't get more views on YouTube, because people don't want to watch my twitchy ass face spasm out of control 24/7.
No. Rocky, you have a beautiful face, buddy. You have. What's going on over here on my laptop? But yeah, no, you have a beautiful face, dude.
I may have a beautiful face. It's just a beautifully active face. It's just very active and in random motions in different directions in opposition of each other, just making contorted looks all the time.
That is what goes in my brain 24/7. So
yeah, same. The problem is that so many times in my life is that people have thought I was winking at them when I wasn't. Like people are like, "Are you winking at me?" And I'm like, "Do you want me to?" They're like, "No, look at yourself." And I'm like, "Oh well, obviously I wasn't, because it's an involuntary twitch." But if you wanted it to be a wink, just assume that it's a wink. But if you don't want it to be a wink, then it definitely wasn't a wink.
I would just say if it was a wink, it'd be my other eye.
Yeah. So anyway, we haven't called Madden recently to yell at them. And that's because Carson Steele has not been living up necessarily to that 80 overall rating. And while we are loud ass people who shoot from the hip 24/7, we also try to be honest. And Carson Steele has not been playing at an 80 level, so we're not going to yell at Madden over that.
He's playing probably at his right level right now.
But you know who is playing at a level of an 80? It's mother effing Kareem Hunt, the starting running back for the Kansas City Chiefs, who is a 78 on the game.
Can they bump him up, please?
Like, come on.
Did they not watch what he just did to insert team name that destroyed the last time they played?
I mean, I'm just saying, you know what this means, right?
I feel like we have to do something, Rocky.
We got to call these sons of bitches and give them a piece of our mind.
You dialing them up?
Know what's up. I'm dialing them up right now. And I will not stand for this blatant disrespect of Chiefs Kingdom.
People can also, if you want to, it's 844-623-3361. That's the Madden Hotline. So feel free to
get out there, Veachies. Get on the lines, Veachies. Fill their inbox. Fill it up so they have no more room for any other messages. That all they hear is the pissed off war cries of Chiefs Kingdom. All right, here we go.
Hey, it's Ocho. You reached the Madden Ratings Adjuster Hotline. Leave a detailed message telling us who you think should have a higher rating and why. But you better bring us some facts we haven't already considered. Otherwise, don't even bother.
Your message will be recorded. By leaving a message, you grant EA permission to use your message throughout the world, in perpetuity, on its social media platforms and websites, and represent that you are at least 18 years old. You further agree that we may call you back regarding your message.
This is Rocky Magaña and Kramer Sansone from Veach season yet again, calling about the blatant disrespect of the Kansas City Chiefs running backs. Now, this time it's not about Carson Steele. It's about motherfucking Kareem Hunt, the star of the Chiefs offense, the workhorse, the guy who carried us to victory in our last game. Once again, how can you have there's only two undefeated teams in the NFL right now, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Minnesota Vikings. And yet you have the starting running back on the best team in the NFL, the back-to-back Super Bowl winning champions, rated as a 78. This guy is a former leader, like rushing leader in the NFL. He's still got it in the tank. He's a stud. He breaks tackles. He has amazing vision. He still is athletic enough. He doesn't fumble. He's a stud out of the backfield. Like you want to say, oh, bring us some facts that we don't already know. I can't bring you any facts that you don't already know because you should already know all this. Like Kareem Hunt being a stud is like the most evident thing on the face of the planet that everybody already knows. So the fact that you don't have him higher than a 78 just really makes me question your decision making on the whole in general. So get off your ass and fix it. Thanks.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I mean, he's the bell cow. He is. He's the bell cow right now. He has the piercing
for it too. You, baby.
Right? Yeah. He has that septum piercing, doesn't he?
He does.
Does he?
I don't know. He's got something pierced, right? He has a piercing. Maybe ears. I don't know.
Might be a Prince Albert. Who knows? I don't want to find out.
It could be. I mean, maybe it's a septum that connects to a Pierce Albert.
Oh, that
and it splits off to the nips.
Oh, all chainmail too.
Yeah, we call that the bear claw machine because somebody just grabs you in the middle and can pick you up.
Oh, that would hurt so bad, dude. It's like some Saw movie.
Yeah. Would I do that to my own personal body? Sure.
No. I got tattoos.
Here's the deal. Would I do septum? Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Would I do my nipples? No, not because I'm afraid of the pain, but I just feel like nobody trusts a guy with pierced nipples.
I don't think I've ever met a guy with pierced nipples.
Exactly. Like I'm married, so nobody's ever bringing me home to meet their parents for the first time. But like, if I was, say, for instance, my son gets invited to like a pool party for like a friend's birthday party, and like I go take my 3-year-old son to like this like children's birthday party at a swimming pool, and I take off my shirt and I got these 2 big old nipple rings like poking out, like the kind that's like the rainbow, like heat treated aluminum, like
Yeah.
loops with like the tribal rings on them or whatever.
It's
Like
it's your waterproof one, so you know you're gonna get the
Yeah.
pool.
Exactly, right. And I just take off my shirt and I got these 2 big old nipple rings hanging out of my man boobies. And like literally you can just visualize all the mothers like grabbing their children and pulling them tight against their sides to like keep them away from me, and like, yeah, nobody would trust me with 2 nipple rings at a children's
great.
birthday party.
That's so great.
So no, I don't know if I'd do the nipple rings. The Prince Albert, Krame, I'd like to say that I wouldn't, and I would probably say that I wouldn't. I wouldn't choose to get a Prince Albert ever in my life.
What if? Hold on. Okay, so if there was a spin wheel and had all these options, blindfold yourself and spin it, you don't even know what it lands on. All you do, you're still in the blindfold. They do it while you're still in the blindfold. Would you do it? They put your piercing.
So what are all the options?
Nipple, Prince Albert, septum, nose, whatever the
eyebrow,
the
lip, tongue,
whatever. Like I've seen people get piercings like on their like the collarbone area or like the tramp stamp area back there. Would you do that?
Yeah, sure.
Would you blindfold yourself and just spin that wheel, whatever it lands? Is what
yeah, probably, because I once pierced my own lip and I once pierced my cartilage. And
what, a hole punch?
Yeah, no, I did it with a needle.
Yeah,
I did it with a needle. No, I did it with a needle.
Oh, a hot needle.
Dude, no, not a hot needle. It was
why would you?
The cartilage was just a normal needle and an apple behind. But when you do a cartilage, you're supposed to put a ring in there, right?
Yeah.
But I put a stud in there. And then this is when I was younger. Like, this is years ago. We're talking like 23 years ago. And it was right before I went to a POD concert. That's how old it is. I went to a POD concert in Jacksonville, Florida. I was 20 years old. Went to a POD concert in Jacksonville, Florida. Pierced my own cartilage right before I went to the show. And no, the lead singer, Sonny, was crowd surfing, and he got turned around, and he actually kicked me in the side of the ear.
Oh!
And kicked the stud straight through and out the back of my ear.
Oh,
I had my cartilage pierced all for a matter of like 6 hours, and then got kicked straight through the back of my ear.
Do you have a hole there, or did it heal back?
No, it healed back. I did have a hole there, but it healed back.
Good. Your lizard skin came through. Good.
Yeah, my lizard skin came through. So sure, probably I would. For the Prince Albert specifically, I would never choose that one. But if like my wife was like, "Hey, it's a dream of mine to sleep with a dude who has a Prince Albert," I'd be like, "Well, it's our anniversary, baby, and for like her anniversary, or what? Like we're like 80 years old, and she's like, I've dreamed my whole life of getting like of a dude going like balls deep with a Prince Albert," and I'm like 80-year-old like Rocky Magaña. I'm like, you don't like these nipple rings though? I'm like 80 years old with my nipple rings.
There's no way in hell I'm getting that pierced for my fiance. Screw that.
I put my walker aside, and I rub some Bengay on my hips to loosen me up so I can crawl up on the bed. I use a little step ladder to get up there.
You have to get the WD-40 out so you can get the rust off.
Yeah, just like wheezing and mouth breathing the whole way up there, like
make sure
that. And then,
make sure your CPAP machine's nearby.
That's what I'd have to do, is like take a quick hit off the oxygen machine just before I start.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
In that situation, when there's that little time left in life and you have nothing to lose, I would get a Prince Albert to make my wife happy.
All right, respect it.
I'm a romantic at heart. What can I say?
That's true. You're a charming guy.
Well, I mean, how would you not feel romanced if you were my wife in that situation?
You're a heart that should have grown up in the chivalry time of days.
I should have, like back when men courted women.
Yep.
I'm fixing to court you. So, Krame, I gotta say, I'm really disappointed about something though.
What happened?
Another week and no 5-star reviews.
Yeah, we gotta get those people. Got to get those.
Guys, ladies. Not just guys and ladies. They, thems. However you identify, we welcome everybody in at Veach season. All Veachies are welcome here. Come into the fold. We love you. We also love 5-star reviews.
Yeah.
And don't forget, any 5-star review you guys leave, we will read live on the air. You can literally put anything you want.
Anything.
On anything on the face of the planet that you want. And if I don't want to read it, I'll make Kramer read it.
Dan, I'll read it word for word.
If it's that bad, I'll make him read it because he's white, and it's about time you make white guys say things that are
offensive.
Are offensive. Yeah, because there's never been a white guy that's ever said anything offensive in the course of American history.
Oh boy, yeah, you're right. I'm the loose cannon you need.
Yeah, exactly. You're not the hero that we wanted, but you're the hero that we need.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so guys, please 5-star reviews. They help us out so much with the algorithms and everything, and to get our product out there so that people like yourself can enjoy our ridiculousness.
So if you made it this far, thank you.
Thank you. If you made it this far from the bottom of our hearts,
seriously,
sincerely, if you're still rocking and rolling with us after all this time of all the crazy crap we've said, yeah, thank you. That being said, let's talk a little bit of football today, Kramer. It's time for Pop Kingdom. To start off Pop Kingdom today, I want to talk a little bit about this wide receiver Trade-a-Palooza that went down today.
The wild day.
First of all, emotionally, how are you doing now that your favorite football team, the Las Vegas Raiders, not only have a trailer park boy with a trash stash at quarterback who doesn't know how to play quarterback, and also traded away the only legitimate offensive weapon that you guys had on your team?
Well, this season's a wash. Clearly, figured that out relatively sooner than later, thankfully, so I don't have to worry about watching those games on Sunday anymore. I mean, I'm kind of cool with it because Devontae wasn't happy, clearly. They got a third round, which could possibly be a conditional second if he does do anything for the Jets, because right now they're 2-4. So granted, a third round pick would be a high third round pick for them. I'm kind of happy for the pick in general. Plus, they also take over that contract, which is great. So I don't know. It was fun having Devontae. I wish it would have lasted a little bit longer with him and Derek Carr as the 1-2 punch there in Las Vegas. But granted, we saw how that ended. And hopefully Devontae's happy in the Jets. I bet he's not. That team is literally spiraling downwards. And it's all because of Aaron Rodgers thinking that he's the New York Jets himself. So good for the Raiders for getting moving on. Now it's whether or not we trade Max Crosby or not. I hope that does not happen. If it does, let me get 2 first-rounders.
Yeah, I hope we get 2 first-rounders for Max Crosby because he's a legitimate stud. Yeah, like the whole Jets thing is so insane. Like Robert Saleh was never going to be the guy for the job.
No.
In New York. And they wanted to have like this like offensive revolution, but they had a defensive coach. It doesn't ever work out to have like this offensive. Like you want to be an offensive juggernaut, and you go out and you hire a defensive coach. You want to develop a quarterback like Zach Wilson, and you go out and you hire a defensive coach. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like he wasn't a good fit for the job there. And then when you brought in Aaron Rodgers, you just completely just chopped his legs out from underneath him and took away all of his credibility and all of his sway and everything that he had in the locker room. And you basically just gave all of his power to Aaron Rodgers, and you sold your soul, much like the Cleveland Browns sold their soul to try to get a quarterback because you wanted a quarterback. You were so GD thirsty for a quarterback that you said, we'll do whatever it takes to get a quarterback. And what happens when you do whatever it takes is you give up your soul and you give up all control of your team to one megalomaniac, and it sinks your entire franchise. And the key to the Chiefs, yeah, they have Patrick Mahomes. He's the greatest quarterback of all time. But that's not what makes them great. what makes them great is that they have a Hall of Fame head coach who can keep that great quarterback in check, still coach that great quarterback, can give feedback to that great quarterback, to hold that great quarterback accountable, so he's not like just running away like a runaway train off the rails. And I'm not saying that Patrick Mahomes would even be that person, but I'm saying you have to have that power dynamic and accountability of a coach and player relationship. The players cannot be more powerful than the coach at any situation on a team, or else it's not going to work out because the coach loses all credibility.
Kind of like all of the NBA coaches.
Exactly, like all the NBA coaches. And football is there's so many players that play on the field, and in a game you have 25 different people playing in a game, not counting like the rest of the special teamers. We're just talking about like starters and then long snappers, kicker, and punter, right? And so you can't get it's so important to have that correct CEO position there at the head coach.
Heck, I think the last good coach in the Jets was Rex Ryan, wasn't it? Leading Mark Sanchez.
And that's very generous, calling Rex Ryan a good coach.
Well, I'm just saying it as a recent for the Jets, because that Adam Gase experience did not last a year and a half.
Well, you're saying Eric Mangini wasn't a good head coach?
No, within like the last 15 years. Was Mangini there the last 15 years?
I think wasn't Mangini after Ryan.
I mean, it was lackluster. If I don't remember it, apparently it wasn't great.
He wasn't a good coach, regardless. No, the Jets it's been a long time since the Jets have had a good head coach. But yeah, and so we'll get into this here in a second also, but yeah, it's just the Jets are a train wreck of an organization. Just
back to the Raiders thing real quick. I'm glad they made this move, because if it wasn't for this move, we would be stuck at going 7 and whatever, winning 8 and whatever, and being stuck at getting between the 10th or between the 8th and 14th overall pick, and you can't get a quarterback there.
I can't wait to watch them draft the wrong quarterback. It's going to be so.
Oh, shut up!
It doesn't matter. By that point, you're going to be a Chiefs fan anyway, and you're going to want them to draft the wrong.
I'm hoping it's Shedeur. Shedeur, come on, Shedeur.
Oh, I hope it's Shedeur too, because I think Shedeur is going to be a train wreck of an NFL.
Who do you think's the best quarterback in the college right now? Like, that's NFL not ready, but ready-ish. It ain't Quentin Ewers. He can't even stay healthy.
No, it's not Quentin Ewers. I mean, I would say Moss out of USC is really good. I like him a lot. I haven't fully started breaking down the quarterback film yet. I'm just now getting into the prospects. Since we are Veach season and we are a draft podcast, I kind of have to start breaking down prospects, because now's that time of year when I usually start getting heavily into the draft. But I started this year on the defensive side of the ball in the trenches, so I'm breaking down defensive tackles and defensive ends currently. But yeah, I like Moss a lot out of USC. I do like Ewers some. Kyle McCord actually looks way better this year than he did last year at quarterback. But Shedeur Sanders, the problem with Shedeur Sanders is, do you know how many rushing yards Shedeur Sanders had last year?
No.
-70. -70.
Well, yeah, he doesn't have an offensive line to protect him. That's what one of the things they're trying to do.
The problem is he plays hero ball, and he holds onto the ball forever and gets sacked more than anybody else. The guy doesn't get rid of the ball.
Shows heart.
No, it shows that he's a nepo baby.
He's trying to extend the play.
Listen, there's one thing I do not like in my quarterbacks, and I know I'm saying this because Patrick Mahomes' dad was a professional baseball player, and Peyton Manning was one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and I love Archie Manning as Arch Manning as a prospect. I think he's the best quarterback in college football right now. All that being said, I think the fact that Shedeur Sanders is Deion Sanders' kid is going to make him a horrible prospect. I think he's entitled. I think that he literally holds onto the ball too long. I don't think that he reads the field. He locks onto half the field. He doesn't scan the whole field. I think that I literally think that he's a bust in the making.
All righty, we'll find out. I'm high on him, dude.
I also said Caleb Williams is going to be a bust.
He's looked great. I said the exact same thing. I thought Caleb Williams was
Well,
sucking.
you could say he's looked. I wouldn't say he's looked great. He's
For
looked,
a rookie, like he not
he's
the number
looked,
one
he
out of this
looked
draft.
he looked good last week.
He's a good game manager for the first.
He looked good last week. He still has extreme accuracy issues. Like Romo Dunze,
They win.
like literally 25% of Romo Dunze's passes that have been thrown to him this year have been uncatchable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like Bill Belichick wasn't wrong. Like he'll make the amazing throw, but he will miss the easy one. And so he's got to work on that. But time will tell. Time will tell, with Caleb Williams. I think that he's always had the talent. The talent's always been there. It's just between the ears with Caleb Williams, I think. And not like processing the game or understanding the game. I think it's more like for him, I think it's more like the dealing with like everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face kind of thing, right? I think what do you do when you meet adversity? And wait until the sophomore season when there's more tape on him. Yep. Right? Okay, how does he deal with the adversity? Every quarterback's going to go through that. You saw CJ Stroud, he tore it up last year, and then he can't. There's been some moments where he's struggled this year because there's more tape on him now. That's just every quarterback. Patrick Mahomes went through it. Like every quarterback goes through this. Once there's tape on you, they defenses adjust, and you have to adjust with the defenses. That being said, let's get through this. We're trying to keep this keep this thing tight tonight, and we're not doing a great job. So anyway, all right, so we're gonna play a little game right now, Krame. Okay. This one's called Just the Facts. All we're gonna do in this game is we're gonna trade off 1 for 1, and we're each gonna state something we think is just a fact in regards to like this NFL season, in light of these wide receiver trades. Now, when I say just the facts, I mean wild speculation and going on our gut instinct only, and not actually based upon facts whatsoever.
Okay.
All right. So I'll start it off. Right. Okay. So just the facts here. I'm just stating the facts here, Kramer. Davante Adams should and will hate his life in New York. I think that by the end of this, like him and Aaron Rodgers aren't even on speaking terms. I think that he's gone from one train wreck situation with the Raiders to another train wreck and the Jets. And I think he hitched his horse to two bad bad quarterback choices. Obviously Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Hall of Famer. He used to be a great quarterback, but his ego is out of control. His ego is writing checks his body can't cash, to quote Top Gun. And I think that Davante Adams is going to get caught up in the friendly fire of that. So just the facts. I'm just stating the facts. Davante Adams should hate his life.
All right. I'm stating the facts here. Amari Cooper, he's going to drop a crucial catch in the AFC Championship game for the Buffalo Bills to lose to the Kansas City Chiefs, if that's the AFC Championship game. Yeah, no, this trade's good for Josh Allen. We saw clear as day he doesn't have a wide receiver to throw to. And Amari Cooper, Mr. Drop, Amari Cooper, Amari Cooper drops passes way too much, and it's going to happen. That's the fact.
I'm just stating the facts here, Kramer. Based upon this Amari Cooper trade, Deshaun Watson is going to start balling out. And by balling out, I mean he's going to average 185 yards passing a game and 1 touchdown. He's going to start balling out at a Deshaun Watson level like we've never seen before. He's going to start throwing 15 more yards a game and 0.17 more touchdowns per game. And his star is just going to not be on the rise, but it'll kind of look like it's just declining at a lesser pace.
Hey, all right. This is just the facts right now. Juju Smith-Schuster and Xavier Worthy are going to prove the reason why the Chiefs will not trade for a wide receiver because of what they're going to do to the 49ers this Sunday. Just the facts.
All right, just the facts. And this one's going to piss everybody off. I'm just stating the facts here, people. Marquez Valdez-Scantling is going to catch a touchdown in the Super Bowl for the Kansas City Chiefs this year. And we just need to get used to it and just accept it now that MVS is going to be a Super Bowl hero. He's not going to probably catch another pass the entire season, like leading up to it, but he's going to catch a touchdown in the Super Bowl. I'm just stating the facts here, though. This is just the facts.
I think I'm out on my just the facts. Unless, toss it for you, Rocky. Would you rather them get D-Rob or sign MVS?
I'm just stating the facts here. Just stating the facts. I think I would rather sign Charlie Day's character from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, Charlie.
As and play him at a wild card position.
Wild card, bitches.
Just put him out there as a wild card, bitches, and bring back either one of those guys. I think I would rather bring up Cornell Powell from the practice squad or Justin Ross.
What's Marcus Kemp doing these days?
Yeah, okay. I'd rather bring back Marcus Kemp or Darius Fountain. How about Darius Fountain? Bring him back.
Yeah, throw it to Jody Fortson.
All right, I'm just stating the facts. This is my last one. Just stating the facts, Kramer. With Devontae Adams now back in New York, reunited with Aaron Rodgers. At some point throughout this season, Devontae Adams is going to invite Aaron Rodgers over to his house for dinner, where they will eat at the Taco Bell that he has inside of his house that you see on all the commercials.
Which he does not look happy in those commercials.
No, but Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams will split a Taco Bell Grande meal before a game at his house. And then on Sunday Night Football or on live national television, because he's so full of Taco Bell, Aaron Rodgers is going to shit his pants on live national television and just be brown seating it the rest of the game and just out there just with squishy buns and just mud butting it.
Dude, I funny fact. I thought I did that in the final baseball game this year that I played. Not because I ate Taco Bell or anything. I thought when I slid into second base, I thought I shit my pants, if I'm being honest.
Well, you know what they say.
Thank God it was turf field, but then if it was turf field, you could tell if I did shit my pants.
You know, they say when you're sliding into second and your pants feel kind of what's that other what is the one that goes with second?
Oh my goodness.
I know when you're sliding into home and your pants are full of foam. Diarrhea.
Yeah.
Diarrhea.
I can't remember it.
I know.
I got my
you're
work
sliding into third and you feel a little turd. Diarrhea. Diarrhea. When you're running down to first and your pants about to burst.
Diarrhea.
Diarrhea.
Oh boy.
Oh, when you try to take two and you feel a little poo.
Diarrhea.
Diarrhea. Yeah, there you go. That was you, Krame.
Yep. Maybe Taco Bell does that. That is the fact.
And talk about that is a definite fact that I've experienced more than once in my life.
You're not the only one, buddy.
Yeah, I have, and like here's the thing: you will learn one day. And anybody who we don't want to talk about this on the podcast.
Yeah. Just don't trust them all, okay?
Just don't trust Taco Bell, and just know that eating Taco Bell when you're over 40 is different than eating Taco Bell in your youth.
Okay, I'll take that to note. I love Taco Bell.
No, I do too, but you definitely pay for it later on. All right, so week before last when we had Country Boy on, we did the songs. Oh, so sick. Such a great time. Shout out to Country Boy for coming on. Love you, buddy. Always welcome back. Come back soon, and we'll keep on having a good time. But we did the best songs of all time. So we'll just to recap those. He chose "You Don't Know" from Blueprint by Jay-Z. I'm Bad by LL Cool J. Outlaw by Tupac. Ice Cream Man by Master P. And you chose 50 Cent, Many Men, Kid Cudi, Solo Dolo,
Mm-hmm.
Eminem Without Me, and then the next episode by Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. We're gonna put those up as a battle of the songs on Twitter for you guys to vote on, and we'll see which one is the champion. So be looking out for that. I'll be getting those up tomorrow. I'll probably face them off against each other, and then we'll see who won next week, and then the next week we'll face the winners off against each other, and so forth. All right, let's talk a little bit of Chiefs football before we get out of here. Just real quick though, before we talk about the game against the Niners, Kramer, is there a more fun player in the NFL than Colin Saunders?
He is a fun dude. I'm so happy he got the interception and was just chugging along.
I mean, just looking like Natron Means out there, or the bust Jerome Bettis. Like he just like
that ball looks so tiny.
Oh God, man! I why don't they use him on goal line situations?
Because his arms aren't long. He's to protect that ball, buddy. He can't
doesn't
really
matter. Do you think that he's gonna fumble?
Yeah.
No. They use like the Bears used to use William Refrigerator Perry on the goal line. Like they do that with he played running back in high school.
Hey, might as well get him up goal line. I mean,
he was holding the ball.
Isn't that what the Saints do? They like to do something crazy, especially if they're trying to run the score up against the Falcons.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Just like I think that Colin Saunders should have 15 rushing touchdowns a season. 100%.
He's the Derrick Henry we need.
Yeah, he's the Derrick Henry. He is what Derrick Henry should be.
Yeah,
Derrick Henry.
Even though Derrick Henry's on pace to be the MVP this year, but yeah, you're right.
Not against the Chiefs.
He's had a great year. He's had a terrible time against the Chiefs and the Raiders defense.
You know why? Because all you got to do is hit him in the legs. We've been through this. There's just so many people that just don't tackle good.
You know, the AFC West owns the Baltimore Ravens right now.
Yeah. Well, we live rent free in their heads.
Always.
I can't wait till the Harbaugh brothers face off against each other, right?
That's going to happen at some point this year. I'm pretty sure that
it has to. Yeah. Anyway,
all right. Harbaugh will win.
A Harbaugh will win. I guarantee you.
And a Harbaugh will lose.
Yeah, and it's a tale of two cities. A tale of two Harbaughs. Yeah. Some people win, some people lose.
This time it won't be for a Super Bowl.
No, it will not be. Thank God. But you know what? We're playing our own little bit of a nemesis this year. I guess we'd say we're more there. We are their nemesis, I should say. They're not our nemesis. The Chiefs don't have a nemesis.
Yeah,
because we've won back-to-back Super Bowls. But I guarantee you that everybody in Niners Nation hates the Kansas City Chiefs. Like all of them. Like, how could you not hate the Kansas City Chiefs? But yeah, first of all, the Chiefs opened as 1.5 point dogs in this game.
I wish I would have bought it right then. I wish I would have bought it, dude. I'm annoyed with myself.
Me? Like, that is like the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like, you have one of only 2 undefeated teams in the league going against a team that's 3-3.
Yeah.
Like, how are they?
And they're dogs on the road.
How are the Chiefs dogs on the road in this game? And on top of that, you look at the Niners defense, or just roster in general. But like, I'm gonna read off some guys. Like, literally right now, if you look at their depth chart on ESPN, Yatir Gross Matos, injured reserve. Javon Hargrave, injured reserve. Drake Jackson, out. Curtis Robinson, injured reserve. Ambry Thomas, injured reserve. Talanoa Hufanga,
there you go,
injured reserve. Dre Greenlaw, injured reserve. Jordan Elliott, questionable. Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles, questionable. Javarius Ward, questionable. Malik Mustafa, questionable. Jake Moody, doubtful. Matthew Wright, questionable. Christian McCaffrey, IR. Ricky Pearsall, out. Jordan Mason, questionable. John Feliciano, IR. Like, they are so beat to hell from top to bottom, but especially on the defense right now. Like,
there's so many holes.
Like, who's their right tackle? Just throw out a name to me. Who do you think their right tackle is?
Shaq Mason. I know he's not, but I don't know. I can't think of a right tackle.
Colton McKivitz.
Who?
5th round draft pick. Colton McKivitz.
Okay.
From, I think last season. Starting right guard on that side is Dominic Pooney, the Kansas guard.
Oh, okay. All right. We at least know him.
Yeah, he's a fair enough player. Like, he's great, but like
he's got a head on his shoulders.
But I mean, he's not like NFL stud. We're not talking like he's not like Trey Smith or Joe Thuney.
No, that's what I'm saying. Right? He's like he has 2 arms. Yeah, he's good.
The thing about the 49ers is once you get past Trent Williams, their offensive line is oof. Like it's rough going. Like their starting 5 right now is Trent Williams, Aaron Banks, Jake Brendel, Dominic Pooney, and Colton McKivitz. That's nothing to write home about aside from Trent Williams. And all
I can think of is Georgia's going to eat, FAU's going to eat, Chris Jones is going to eat, Turk's going to eat. Like, literally, everybody's going to eat. Like everybody's going to have a day.
Eat.
Dan is going to eat, even if he's going to be healthy or not healthy. I think he goes up there 75%. He's still going to eat.
McDuffie's going to blitz and eat.
Oh, McDuffie's getting a sack this week.
Yeah, McDuffie's going to get a sack this week. And, like, honestly, even looking at their linebackers, yeah, they have Fred Warner right now. He's one of the best coverage linebackers in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, aside from that, with Dre Greenlaw out, like,
if Charvarius Swartz ain't going to make it.
Yeah, I mean, like they have Rocky Ya-Sin as a backup, and I really liked Renardo Green, their backup nickelback, coming out this year, but still he's a rookie. Like they have so many holes on defense. I really think that, honestly, though, because the Chiefs linebacking core has struggled in coverage to this day, I think that it's going to be a Travis Kelce and George Kittle kind of game. Like, I think both those guys are going to have big days this week. And I think that this will be one of the best tests to our secondary we have, because the one place where they are not injured is at wide receiver outside of Ricky Pearsall Jr. They still got Deebo Samuel. They still got Brandon Ayuk. They still got Jawan Jennings. They still got Chris Conley, Kansas City great Chris Conley. They drafted Jacob Cowing also, he was a pretty good player in college. Not a big guy, but does some nice things as far as route running and after the catch ability. But really, like, aside from their wide receivers, the reason why they've lost games this year is because they're beaten up and they have holes on the defense.
And Purdy's made mistakes. Let's not act like he hasn't done that this year.
I mean, when you're sitting behind Swiss cheese, dodging pass rushers every 2.5 seconds, then of course you're going to make mistakes. I mean, he's been under duress. Like, here's the thing: is Brock Purdy is at his best when he's able to have time, feel comfortable in the pocket, and then read and react, right, and play in rhythm,
right?
And everything that Shanahan does is all scheme and timing, right? Everything is scheme and timing. Everything is 3-step drop, 5-step drop, hit the wide receiver at this point in the route. Like, it's very like there's not a lot of space for a guy like Patrick Mahomes like that to succeed in this offense. Like, which is why like so many quarterbacks succeed in Shanahan's offense, is because the scheme is bigger than the player, right? And because of that, though, when the scheme is not executed correctly, the player sometimes A, doesn't know how to react, but B, you put a lesser guy into that role and he's successful, and as long as the scheme's working. But once the scheme's not working, or once things get blown up, there's not a lot for a guy like Purdy to fall back on. And so I think the Chiefs win this one. I think it will be a close game, but the Chiefs pull this one out, and they keep on marching undefeated. What do you think?
I don't see a scenario where the Chiefs lose this. I really don't. The offense is still going to be great, even with guys hurt. Even if it is Juju Smith-Schuster, Xavier Worthy getting the majority of the targets. Even if Travis Kelce gets shut down by Fred Warner, which is a big possibility. they're going to win this game. Like, Chiefs got this. They're too banged up on the 49ers side to even try to contend for this. We've seen it with last week. Didn't they lose last week, or they lost 2 weeks ago when a game that they shouldn't have? So it's going to be the exact same thing. Chiefs are going to win this one, and it's going to be close. I mean, why not? I mean, it's what the Chiefs do. They make it close because you really don't need to. You just need to win the game. You don't need to be all glitz and glamour about it. Just win the game.
Yeah, I mean, you look at at who the 49ers have played so far this year. They beat the Jets in week 1. Surprise, surprise. They lost to the Vikings in week 2. They lost to the Rams in week 3. They beat the Patriots in week 4. Surprise, surprise. Then they lost to the Cardinals by 1 point.
That's the game they should have won.
Yeah, they should have won that game. And then they beat the Seahawks. But the Seahawks had opportunities in that game, and they kind of squandered them.
Seahawks have dropped the ball the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, and so this is not the same team that played the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Oh no, it's not.
Not by a long shot. And so I don't think that we're getting this. I don't think we're getting a Chiefs 49ers rematch this year in the Super Bowl. And I don't think
Let's go Sam Darnold and the Vikings. Let's go.
Yeah, there we go. Chiefs Vikings. That's Super Bowl 4 rematch. But yeah, so 100%, I think the Chiefs walk away with a win on this one. But yeah, look at this, Krame. We've come to the end of the show. It's only an hour and 6 minutes long. Look, we did so well today. We ought to be so proud of ourselves.
Serta's gonna be so happy.
We were so on task today that we deserve to get off of this and go have a dessert. You deserve to treat yourself to the dessert. What dessert would you eat if you have any dessert right now?
Oh, chocolate chip cookie. Just give me give me all the chocolate chip cookies. I love chocolate chip cookies. Like I probably get a tattoo of a chocolate chip cookie at some point in my life.
That's awesome. You know what, if I get another tattoo, I want to tattoo your face on my face.
Just put it around.
Yeah, just tattoo your face on my face. I look
that.
like you. And then like people from far away, they'll be like,
Kramer
put on weight. Is that Kramer? And then they get up close to me and they'd say, "Oh no, it's Rocky. It's that weirdo who tattooed his face to look like Kramer.
It's that Florida guy Rocky.
It's that Florida guy Rocky with his pierced nipples and Kramer Sansone face tattoo." And with that, everybody, give us a 5-star review. We love you guys. Thanks for rocking with us. Follow us on social media. I'm at Rocky Magaña. He's at Kramer Talks. Once again, as always, like literally after everything that's happened with the storm, I just feel so blessed to be able to do this and be here and hang out with you, Krame, and hang out with all of you guys who
happy you're here, buddy.
Watch the show with us. So find somebody you love each other. Thank you for the privilege of your time. We hope you earned it. With that being said, talk to you guys next week.